All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 12th of May. The great thing about this week is at the Summerlin Center campus, okay, I will be having success series 1 to 4 every day this week. If you need a refresher, if you're brand new, if you need CE, if you want to learn how to thrive, not just survive in this current market, you want to come all 5 days, success series 1 to 4. And speaking of Summerlin Center campus, we happen to have one of the managers from there. Okay. Her name is Amanda Lopez. Amanda, welcome to the show. Are you there? You got to hit *6 on your phone.
I did. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, she is, and she's here. Yes, I can.
Yay.
So what's going on?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Just did 3 dog walks outside, and then one got on the treadmill, the doggy
Nice.
pacer. And there's a nice breeze. May this last, because I think we're going to have like days this week where it's like 70 and 80, and then hello summer, right?
Right. I know we have no spring here. We really have no winter. It's kind of like we go from summer to fall and then back to summer again. Being from New England, that's all it feels like to me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it's all good and a great week ahead, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
What did your dogs do for you? Because you are a dog mom of 4. What did they do for you for Mother's Day? Did they do anything special?
Nothing. One of them got in trouble. I catered to them all day, and they actually didn't do anything for me. I mean, they provide me with
other than give you unconditional love.
Yeah, unwavering. But yeah, one of them got in trouble. She was sulking, and it's this whole thing. But no, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I know.
So what do you see going on out there right now? Let's hear it.
What? What'd you say?
I said, what do you see going on out there right now in the real estate market?
You know what? I see deals happening all the time, to be honest with you. And I also have some agents where their inventory might be sitting. And so we're really looking at, well, what's the deal? In a lot of times they were mispriced from the get-go. So honestly, and this is always, as long as something is priced right, and sometimes it has to be underpriced. I'm not saying all the time. If it can be the number 2 choice for a buyer in terms of price and condition, I believe it'll sell. I do. Yes, seasonally, there's going to be more business. Yes, seasonally, there's going to be a little more inventory. But we're not looking at having months and months and months of that inventory. I think average days on market is between 60 and 70. So it's nothing crazy. 3 months of inventory. It's just, you got to work with the motivated people, bottom line. If you're working with a seller who, sure, I'll try it. Let's see. Okay, they're not motivated. You know what I mean? So sellers need to be motivated so that you have, I forget the word because it's still a little early, so that you have the leverage to talk to them about pricing right, to be able to talk to them about negotiating because they have a big goal to achieve, be it they need to be somewhere because of a job transfer, they need to pull money out to pay off someone else, whatever their motivation is, that needs to exist or it's going to be painful. And same with buyers. They have to not just qualify to buy, but have to buy. You know what I mean? Like really, 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 really want to buy really badly. Not just, oh, great, they have finances, yet they don't really care if they buy and they're living at home and they're cool with that, or they're renting and, they're okay with that. They're okay with the status quo. You guys need to find the people that have to buy or sell, and they're out there. We just have to find them.
Right.
That's my
that's your okay. Good, awesome. I love it, and it's so true. And the tariff situation over the weekend got a hell of a lot better. So the stock market's right back to where it was. Right? Yeah, right back to where it was. Yep, and it's not too far off. It's high too. It's the high. It's the Dow's at 42 and change, and the high is it was 44.6, I think. But when the tariff started, it was like 42 and change, and then it went down. But that'll be nice. We all know the interest rates are going to get better. Blah blah blah. But right now the market's consistent, And, I have a lot of people in my schedule that are very, very busy right now.
Good. I love it. And that's the thing. There's people that are busy, and I think I was talking to you last week, and then there's people that aren't. You just have to look at, well, what activities are the people that are busy, what are they doing? What are the people that aren't busy, what are they doing? I mean, you pick, because there's business to be had that's happening.
That's right. That's right. I don't know how anybody can not be busy, because if you're not on an appointment negotiating a deal, getting caught up on your lead follow-up, you can be back to prospecting. So you can always be busy. And if you're doing that, you're always doing deals, always.
Yep. I have a lot of agents that are meeting people at open houses who, might be the nosy neighbor, so they really want to sell, or it's buyers coming through that don't have agents. So open houses, getting your face out there, especially while the weather is bearable right now, great way to create business, especially if you're doing high impact open house. You don't just show up and put your signs out. You've prepared, you've alerted the neighbors. Maybe you had a private showing for just the neighbors, for the first 30 minutes. You're creating a buzz. I know Lita is doing a lot of open houses at one house, and I'm sure she's going to get like repeat visitors to where she's going to start to add some people to her database, because they're seeing out there, now she's a friendly face. I mean, we know she's a friendly face always. And when she's in front of people,
super friendly.
Yeah, she gets a lot of business from open houses, putting herself out there. She's most effective out there. You know what I mean? Out in the field.
Right. Agreed. All right. So I know you have some questions for me today. So do you want to go there now?
I do. I have some questions, and I was thinking about it the last couple of days, and then I was reminded of a topic that I think we can all talk about more. I do. I think that agents, they can win more. I think they can get more contracts signed. I think they can create better client experiences more often when they exhibit. Now I need a drum roll.
Yep.
When they exhibit versatility and really learn about versatility. So what is versatility?
To me, versatility, to me, it's being able to handle a number of types of, like, for instance, the different personality styles, right? You have expressive people, you have analytical people, you have amiable people, you have drivers, and your ability to handle them and not take it personally. As soon as you realize, it's kind of like the Catholic Church, right? The Catholic Church years ago, what was his name? I can't think of his name. But anyway, one of the astronomers decided that the Earth was not, for the longest time, we thought, that we were the center of the universe, and the moon and the stars and the sun and everything went around us. And then this one philosopher, I can't think of his name, astronomer, said, no, it's the other way around. Well, he was put in jail for the rest of his life, like house arrest, because they just thought it was so out to lunch. I think it was Socrates. No, not Socrates. Begins with a P. I can't think of his name. But anyway, and then they realized, years after his death, oh my God, he was right. So it's like when you realize in a real estate transaction that you are not the center of the universe, your client is, your whole life gets better. Your whole life gets better, because you realize it's less work. You're listening instead of trying to talk all the time. So versatility starts with, applying your fiduciary responsibility to your business, meaning your clients are first. Your clients are first, not you. So that now, if your client is first and they're amiable, then you act and you present a certain way. If they're a driver, if they're analytical, if they're expressive, right? So this is where versatility begins for me.
I love it. It's almost like if you have a pre-qualifying form, which I hope everybody does, we have a script for it. It's almost like making a note from the get-go of what personality style your client, your customer, soon-to-be client is, and then just simply adapting to them. And I love the book, Versatile Selling by Larry Wilson, the good one. If you can right away figure out who they are, and then know it's your job as an agent, it's my job as a manager to adapt to who is in front of me, everything's going to get better. And again, there's a couple styles, at least one style that is like repelling to you, Like, I'm not say it, but I know what you are. You're like expressive driver. There's a style that probably takes too long to make decisions and blah, 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 blah. And it is what it is. And there's like for me being amiable, I would take offense to drivers. I thought they were rude. I thought they didn't give a crap. I would get you know what? Drivers are really actually, once I learned about that, it's not personal. Like you said, they're just being who they are. So a driver, they make decisions really fast. So awesome. I don't dance around. I don't have to have a 2-hour presentation. I can ask them, look, what do you want to achieve? By when do you want to achieve it? And what do you they want to know, what am I going to do to get sold, essentially? That's what a driver wants to know. They don't need the charts and the graphs and the, I don't know, all about the expressive artwork. Like, they don't care about that stuff. So, anyway, I digress.
I agree.
Back to figuring out who's in front of you. Do it with your spouse. Do it with your children. Figuring out who they are and how they think, and then asking the appropriate questions that cater to who they are. You guys are going to get yes answers so many more times. That's why I wanted to bring it, because, like, you tell us, why do you think versatility is important in sales?
Say that one more time. Why I think what?
Why is versatility so important in sales?
Well, it goes back to that fiduciary responsibility. You have to put your client before yourself, and in doing so, you want to sell them. And I hate even using the word sell, because it's really just helping them get what they want in their own personality style, so they can do this and feel comfortable. Like you just said, like drivers, like I make decisions definitely based on driver. I mean, bottom line, don't bore me with the details. Where if you do that with an analytical, they think you think they're stupid. They don't need decisions made for them. They want to make all the decisions, and they want all the information to do it. So it's really just about respecting your person, to treat them the way it's like speaking their language. It's like, you speak Spanish, I speak English. Well, in order to work with me, you're going to have to learn how to speak English. No, if you speak Spanish and you're my client, I got to speak Spanish. I got to speak whatever you speak. That's what it's kind of like doing, but it's a lot easier because you're speaking to people that speak English. You just have to speak in a way, like drivers will say things like, I want the bottom line. Right? Yeah. You'll never hear that out of analytical. You'll never hear that out of an amiable, right? And expressive, you'll never hear anything. I mean, all you'll hear is stuff, and you won't even know half the time what they're talking about because they go all over the place, right? So it's just a matter of who you're talking to, and being respectful is really what you're being.
I love that concept and that thought of being respectful, and that's our job. It is, and it becomes more fun. It all becomes more fun. Folks will definitely have more sales. And again, once you realize that, like, I used to wonder, why am I uncomfortable around like this person, or why does this person kind of annoy me? It literally was just their personality style. They weren't creepy. They weren't, and then again, when I could just understand them more, seek to understand, everything got better. So yes, back to the world doesn't revolve around us. Let's make it about them and then cater to them and have some fun with it. Because my concern is that agents are losing out on a certain percentage of business because they're not adapting to their audience. There's someone else that can adapt better, okay? Or, hey, I didn't get the listing and the seller was a driver, but a driver got the listing. You guys can all adapt to any style, and there's only 4. We're not talking about 18 different personalities. We're only talking about 4. So it's and I've had agents come in to me like, oh, I don't know, and we went over it, and because they weren't sure if they were going to get the contract, and it was simply lack of versatility. That's it. And again, once you know, you can't really unknow. And it's really fun to study personality styles. And it doesn't take, it's not grandiose. You literally study it from Versatile Selling book. And there's a lot of things that people can do to become more versatile. So I wanted to talk about that too. What do you think are some things that people could do to become more versatile besides studying the styles?
Yeah. Well, I mean, come to the Success Series on Friday because I talk a lot about that, and Tuesday, number one, because I talk a lot about it and how to deal with people and so forth. I think using the pattern of which to speak to people, which is open-ended questions, repeat, approve, ask the next question, do it in your own personality style. So, it's untraceable. People think, well, they're gonna, no. So I say to you, so you come to my open house and I say, where do you live now? Right? Well, we live over on Oak Street. Oh, you live over on Oak Street. Good for you. That's a great area. How long have you guys lived there? So I'm just following a script. You would never know that if I was talking to you. But the open-ended questions, finish your sentence on a downswing. Whatever I say, repeat and approve, and ask me my next question. All right, that to me is a great way to decide what they're, and obviously it shows versatility because you're not the center. They're the center, right? But I also think you can do other things, like get outside your comfort zone, like what things make you a little uncomfortable. Like you mentioned, dealing with drivers or whatever. I recommend you do stuff for yourself that gets you outside your comfort zone too, right? Like,
big time.
If you're used to working out with just doing, a running on a treadmill, mix some weights in or vice versa. There's all kinds of things you can do to become more versatile. And it's just doing stuff outside what your current routine is.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like I get really, is the word routinized? Like I thrive on routine, and any little thing that throws me off, I'm like who moved my cheese? Like, oh my gosh, there was a different dog in the neighborhood. And oh my gosh. But back to doing things outside of our comfort zone. I remember Mike Ferry. He would go to concerts that he normally wouldn't go to become more versatile. I clearly remember because I was a big Dave Matthews fan, which I still am, not as big as Michael Bublé fan.
Right.
So Dave Matthews, he went to a Dave Matthews concert, something he would never go to. Maybe go to a networking group, go to a different workout, go to a class, go at a different time. It really, really helps. Go hang out with somebody who has children and they have a pageant or they have, I don't know, some play or something at school to where you're exposing yourself to different things. And it's so important. And so live in Las Vegas. There's so many different things that you could do, like for entertainment that you maybe normally wouldn't go do. Maybe you normally wouldn't go hang out with that person. It will make you a better citizen when you do. I promise.
Absolutely. I agree with all of those things, and I think all of those things will be very helpful for you. You can even read different books than you're used to reading. Like now I'm mixing up, all kinds of different histories and biographies and learning about, even the economy and politics and all kinds of stuff that I never would have listened to before, just to become more versatile and what you can converse about too.
Oh, I was just going to say that more topics that you can talk about. Even if you don't have a giant depth of knowledge on something, you can talk about it. And that builds immediate rapport. So people want to do business with people that they like, they trust, they're comfortable with. So how can we become more comfortable with people? Learn more, feed your brain with more things. Again, you could have a surface level knowledge of something, but then you can start talking about it,
Right. Yep. Absolutely. What's that?
I love the concept of versatility and the personality styles and how we really can work on it ourselves. You know what I mean? I just think it's fascinating. It's fascinating to me. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. And the books that you listen to, I think, or read, or both, are critical as well. And I think you said Larry Wilson, the Wilson Learning Institute, that's a great book on versatility, is the Versatile Selling. And I think everybody should read that book.
Oh, me too. And you can have it at your desk because it's like a handbook. It's like something you could quick flip the page and be, all right, what questions should I be asking this analytical? How do they think? And you can it's a reference guide. I really would recommend everybody get it. I really, really do. So I had a couple other questions for you. So in your coaching, and I didn't do the whole intro of you because I think a lot of people, I'm going to let them wonder. Usually I'll introduce you, how long you've been in the business, how many coaching clients. I'll say, though, you've been in the business for over 50 years, and you coach all levels.
40, come on.
Okay, sorry.
40. Yeah.
Sorry,
Wow.
I joke.
I mean,
Okay,
that'd be 70.
Okay, so can you think of a time, and if you can't think of a time, that's okay. So can you give us a situation where maybe somebody was underperforming and then you helped them turn around? Or is there like a quick, like, what could someone do right now to build up business?
Well, I just got off the phone with two guys. This happens every once in a while. I have this great group where there's 4 people that show up, but one was on vacation, one was busy at an appointment already, and 2 of the guys were on. And one of them I can think of, he's in this office, Tim Dunn. When he got in the business, he's one of the weird individuals that just started doing, what I asked him to do on coaching right away, but he was totally into coaching. Help me tell me what I need to do. Already had a really good sphere in town, deals with a lot of celebrities, and he's kind of a celebrity himself. I tell him all the time, right? So he just had to talk to people and become comfortable doing it. He active open houses, and so that's how we got Tim. And then Stan Abrahams, who's from Arizona, he was already successful when he joined my coaching, and he became more successful by just system. And he just gave a story this morning, being more systematic and consistent with his sphere. And
love it.
Now he does a tremendous amount of business from his sphere. And he even said this morning, my brain kicks in. I haven't talked to this person in a while. Are they going to say something to me? And then I remember, eliminate the drunk monkey, make the call, and almost every one of them are excited to hear from me.
I love it.
They don't know that we're supposed to stay in touch with them consistently. So when you call them, they're like, you sold them their most important asset, where they live every day, what they're looking at every day. So just call them.
Yeah, they have no idea that we really ought to be reaching out to them at least 4 times a year verbally, let alone the other stuff. They're not sitting around thinking about it, though. They're not. Nothing personal. They have their own lives. No. They're not thinking about, gosh, Rick hasn't called me, and it's now the second quarter. Oh, my gosh, it's the middle of the second quarter, by the way. They're just not. So that's, you know what, when I was nervous about teaching yoga, I have had my Saturday 10 a.m. class, talk about routine, and just sometimes not willing to waver. I've had my class for 15 years, Saturday 10 a.m., yoga basics. It's crazy. So I was always so nervous. Friday nights, I couldn't sleep. I would make these musical playlists and stuff, and I was just so nervous. And finally, the owner of the yoga studio, she's like, Amanda, they wish you well. Like, they wish you well, the students. And I'm like, oh. So, like, when I had that perspective, and I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. So if we can all believe that these people, our sphere, these people, friends and family, people that know us, they wish us well. And you know what? Even if they don't, I'm sorry, but that's a nice thought. You know what I mean? Like, consider that. Consider that. And then roll into your day of prospecting or teaching yoga or leading a class or leading success series. Like, why not have that mindset? Why not?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've taken your class. I think Tina has too. I mean, you're good. It's good. And you know what you're talking about. So we have to have that confidence. With the exception of very few people, 99.9% of the people you're talking to, you know more about real estate than they do. You've taken a test, passed a test, belong to a board, you're a realtor. The list goes on and on. They don't know as much as you know about real estate. So decide to be confident, because it starts with a decision.
Totally. I am confident. You know what I mean? Like, really say it, believe it. And you know what? You get asked a question, you don't know the answer, let them know, you get back to them in a couple hours. You know what I mean? You just want to, who cares? Like, you don't have to know everything, which is great. In industry, you will always be learning something new. It's amazing that I have agents that have been with us 20 years. Sometimes they come and they ask me a question, not that I have the answer. So we find the answer because we have resources throughout this company. Sometimes I have the answer, sometimes I don't. Sometimes there's multiple answers. You know what I mean? That could be correct. It's like, that's what makes it fun, though. This business doesn't have to get mundane. Granted, the lead generation topic of, what do we call it, repetitious boredom, if you can have at least 2 to 4 hours a day that are totally structured with lead generation, the rest of the day can happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I had another question for you. I know we're getting close on time. Oh, how do you measure success in your coaching?
Okay, great question. And it's the reason I do coaching. It's helping people get it. So if you're somebody that wants to go, and I have a few of them in my coaching right now. I want to go from doing almost no deals to making $100,000. In Las Vegas, that's 12 deals. In Arizona, it's about probably 10. Same with California. So I help you get there. And then once we get there, I mean, to me, that's why I do this business. I mean, there are people out there like my wife who help people that are less fortunate, with their health and all that, right? With me, helping somebody get financially healthy and financially able to have, I call it's freedom to make decisions, freedom to go where you want to go, do what you want to do. To me, that is a gigantic gift. And I remember when I got it years ago, right? I went to a seminar here with Mike Perry there, Floyd Wickman. And I remember the day my eyes were open and I said, holy cow, I can do that. If that's what's necessary, I can do that. And when people get it, and then remember now, in my coaching, not everybody gets it. Not everybody wants to get it. You have to really want it. This is something that you have to be willing to go further, do more. It takes longer. It costs more money, right? But if you put the time in, okay, I've never met anybody who put the time in who wasn't successful in this business. It's the people that give up before the miracle happens that's the problem.
Yeah.
So that's why I do this, and that's what I think this business is all about. It's not tough. When I say tough, anybody can learn it. Anybody can develop the traits. It's not easy in the fact that it's easy to get into this business, but it's not easy to stay and be successful because the actions that are consistent with achieving it, most people have a hard time being consistent with it, and it's always been that way.
Totally. Yeah, when people let their emotions dictate what they're going to do that day, and look, life happens, trust me. of all people know that, okay? But if you can, map out the days you're already going to, map out your self-care days off, vacation. Take them out ahead of time, and then on your working days, make them working days. You know what I mean? Don't let how you feel or what someone said to you in one conversation wreck the rest of your day.
Right. Exactly right. But okay, well, we're at time here. I appreciate it. Awesome stuff.
I have one awful joke.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
In honor of you. So
yes. I love it.
Which days are the strongest?
I don't know.
Saturday and Sunday. The rest are weekdays.
That's a good one. I'm going to remember that one.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
sorry, I'll be reusing that. Thank you for having me.
Thank you I appreciate it. Amanda is a regular about every 6 to 8 weeks, 7. Let's call it 7. We rotate through for this conversation about real estate, and so far it's going really well, so let's keep doing it. You're the best. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye, everybody. Bye, Amanda.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll see you this week.